All right, so finally, Grand Theft Auto fans got the announcement they were waiting for from Rockstar Games, and it was one of the most unique announcements they've done in a while, and it appeared on their social media page where they ended up saying this. They said new patches are coming next week for Grand Theft Auto the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, across all platforms. We appreciate the community's patience and support. So right off the bat, it's really weird to see a tweet or a social media post from Rockstar without a link to a newswire or a picture. It's pretty rare when they do stuff like that. I think that's just kind of an interesting quirk. But the good news here is the Trilogy Definitive Edition on all platforms is going to be getting new patches. And this is something that has been obviously plaguing these games since day one. They've been filled with bugs and glitches and issues and errors. Now, since the community has shown their disapproval of those initial versions, Rockstar and Grove Street Games has done a pretty good job of actually coming together and trying to fix a lot of the issues. They've done a really good job, and it looks like they're going to be continuing to do a good job. So they are not abandoning these games yet. So if you're still enjoying them or play them every now and then, there's going to be a lot of changes coming next week that are going to be really nice. Now, we don't know what those new changes are going to be. I would assume they're going to involve making the game play smoother or updating the graphics or fixing some issues that might be going on, not necessarily like new content or anything like that. Now, what was interesting is the guys on the Nintendo Switch, it looks like they actually received the update early. Now, the Nintendo Switch is kind of like the one console that's different from the rest of the bunch, like the PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Its graphics are going to be dumbed down just a little bit. It's obviously not as powerful as a console. And so this is what it looks like here. You can see that all three versions, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas Definitive Editions, are set to get updates. And they can download them right now. And I do not play anything on the Nintendo Switch. I did not play these versions on the Nintendo Switch. But from what I have been reading so far, players are reporting that it seems to be running a little bit smoother than before, and the frame rate feels a whole lot better. There's reports that the game just feels decent overall. Vice City and San Andreas aren't dropping frames as badly as they were on the previous update, so that's actually really, really nice. It's now version 1.0.6. Whereas before it was 1.0.5. Now, when I'm recording this video, the Nintendo Switch is the only one that has received the updates, and there's no patch notes out yet, again, which makes the entire thing very interesting. It's probably worth waiting until next week when the patches are fully available on every platform to see what Rockstar ends up changes and what they make. I will, of course, keep you guys posted when those changes do arrive. It also is interesting that this is occurring basically a couple of weeks before the expanded and enhanced version of GTA 5 arrives. It looks like Rockstar wanted to get this update out before they switched gears to expanded and enhanced GTA 5. But this is nice that these games have honestly not been abandoned. Rockstar is going to keep fixing them, improving them, making them better all the way around, which is what these games deserve. I'm glad they were not just completely abandoned. And aside from the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, you know what I just like about this? Rockstar communicating and giving us an idea of what to expect a little bit in the future. They didn't give away any specifics and they didn't guarantee or promise anything, but it's just nice to get a little bit of communication here saying, hey, this is what we plan on doing. And they also understand the community's patience and support, because there was a big outcry for these games and how they just were not right from the very beginning. So I'm glad to see that Rockstar is taking the time just to communicate here and to say like, hey, this is what's going to be happening. This is something I think they should do all the way around, not only with the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, but with GTA 6, Red Dead Online, Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA Online. All of that would be perfect if they continued that level of communication. Now, there was some more follow-up on this from Rockstar Games insider Tez Funds 2 on the GTA forum site, who ended up posting some insider details. So he first said this: I did hear about internal arguments going on at the time Rockstar issued out the apology. Contrary to what most think, there's a bigger deal that I wouldn't think Grove Street Games wants to lose on. Grove Street is a studio whose track record focuses on mobile, and Take-Two is nowadays heavily investing in mobile, so you can connect the dots. That at least provides an incentive for them to fix the mess and regain the trust. So what he's talking about here is Rockstar did come out and issue a formal apology for the state the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition games were in. They were not good at all. And a lot of people were like, why are we apologizing for this when Grove Street Games was the one that basically made the whole thing? Well, there might be bigger gorillas at play here because Take-Two Interactive is heavily investing in mobile titles. That's Grove Street Games' speciality, so they don't want to just lose that connection altogether. I hope Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive don't completely dive into the mobile games because console is really what I focus on primarily. But hopefully, if they do end up going down that path, they end up balancing their mobile success with still what they do on the PC and the consoles. And then even more follow-up, TezFunds2 said, expecting patches addressing a ton of the Trilogy issues within a month from release and near the holiday break was unrealistic. I do agree the Trilogy needed more time, but Rockstar decided to release it regardless. As often the case with AAA workflows since the game released in November, then patches expected to address complaints made at that time usually arrive by February. One example is what's going on with Battlefield 2042, which I can't speak a lot for that game. I just know things are not going well. And what TezFunds2 is saying here is because the Trilogy came out in November, which the end of the year has so many holidays. It has Thanksgiving, it has Christmas, it has New Year's, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. So having all of those things happen around that time is unrealistic. Even within the first month of a game, not around the holiday times, you would still expect that to be a little bit unrealistic. But the Trilogy did need more time. I think Rockstar rushed it out the door when they knew expanded and enhanced GTA 5 was not going to be arriving in November because they had to put something out. That's at least my personal opinion. But yeah, it just looks like now they're finally getting to it, now that they can breathe, now that it's 2022, as the world, I guess, becomes slightly back to normal. But finally, Rockstar Games gave fans what we're all looking for here: communication and fixes for a game that deserve it, and just sort of talking to us and saying what's going on. All of this is great news. Even if you don't care about the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, just see the good here, that Rockstar is like actually talking to us, which is kind of awesome. So let me know what you guys think in those comments down below. And next week when these new patches arrive, I'll be sure to keep you posted on the changes that are made. But let me know what you think about everything we discussed in this video today in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.